Hey everyone, Will Little here, and welcome to this second installment of Wednesday Wisdom, where I'll be talking about probability, when to use it, and when not to use it. As always, these are just some thoughts that I've had running through my head recently, so if you disagree or have any interesting thoughts as well, then don't hesitate to contact us. From there, we can talk about it in private, or you can be a guest on the show. All of our contact information will be in the description below, as always. So, to start off the episode, I want to define what probability represents. I feel like people say that a certain event has an X% chance of happening when there's absolutely no logic behind that number whatsoever. As one collects more data, a calculated probability becomes a more accurate representation of the actual probability. For instance, finding the probability of something happening in a group of people with specific qualities, this might be a trait shared among the entire group of people, is going to give you more accurate results than finding the probability of something happening in a general group of people, since you have more data to calculate the probability. As we get more specific to you, the calculated probability of something happening to you approaches the actual probability of something happening to you. Therefore, by taking all factors into consideration, the probability of something happening either approaches 0 or 1, since something is either going to happen / has happened, or isn't going to happen / hasn't happened under exact conditions. This is why we can't take the probability of a scenario that isn't going to occur more than once. Flipping a coin is 50-50 only if there are multiple trials under similar conditions. This is known as the law of large numbers. If you only flip a coin once, the outcome is 100% going to happen given those exact conditions. These exact conditions can be the amount of force that you put into flipping a coin. It could be taking into account the air resistance. Literally every factor matters. The question is, what is the outcome given those conditions? Will it be heads or tails? A good example of this is the Large Hadron Collider. If you don't know what that is, the Large Hadron Collider is the world's largest particle accelerator, covering an area of about 22 square miles and being located near Geneva, Switzerland at CERN. So what does a particle accelerator do exactly? It basically throws small particles, such as protons, at a speed that is extremely, and I mean extremely, close to the speed of light. This causes super quick and powerful collisions that ultimately form larger particles, such as Higgs bosons and top quarks. So those specifics aren't really necessary for the topic that we're discussing, but essentially this powerful machine no doubt holds a lot of destructive potential if something were to go wrong. In 2008, before the accelerator was first turned on, a global catastrophic risk conference was held to discuss the risks of using such a device. It was said that there was a small probability that the Large Hadron Collider could cause a chain reaction that could lead to the genesis of a black hole or even a false vacuum state. As I stated previously, if we were given the exact behaviors of every particle or influential factor, and we were given the proper mathematical formulas to determine the probability of a worldwide disaster occurring, then the probability would either be 0 or 1. That's it. It would either 100% happen or it would not happen at all at that given instance. I know this subject might be confusing to some people, and I probably didn't explain it in the best way, so I'll leave you with one final example that I'm sure you'll relate with. So when one watches the Weather Channel, one is overwhelmed by probabilities. There's probabilities everywhere. Maybe that's regarding precipitation or the occurrence of a storm, but what do those probabilities mean? We all know that nature is going to take its course, whether you like it or not. It's either 100% going to happen or it's not going to happen at all. Well, these probabilities on the Weather Channel show our projection of how likely something is to happen given the information we have attained from recent weather patterns. As you know, a cloud isn't one object. It consists of billions of atoms and molecules that collide with each other, change trajectories in practically unpredictable ways, and interact with other molecules and atoms in accordance to multiple factors, including temperature. Hypothetically, if we knew everything there was to know about every molecule in the atmosphere, then there would be no need for percentages, for we would know exactly what was going to take place. Unfortunately, we don't have the tools or mathematical abilities to deduct the exact outcome of such complex scenarios. However, as we become able to make more accurate predictions, our predictions will be shifted away from 50% and towards 100% and 0%. So I hope this gave you a better understanding of statistics. Maybe it just further confused you, but feel free to comment and contact us. Thank you for listening.